What's up, alien savages, and welcome to another episode. How you feeling? Wow, I'm so proud of myself that I released my latest episode. I'm depressed. Dum. How can you be depressed? Well, and I'm so happy it was so well received. I received so much love, and not just like this, not victim bonding love. I'm not a victim at all. If you've listened to my last podcast, I'm so in my power how I speak about that, I'm just, I get it. And also this is how I feel, And it's for, like, in the past I was such a Bashar boy that I wasn't embodied and I was just, I was like a robot. And I'm like saying it jokingly. I love my past Ferdi. I love him so much and he was so needed to be like that. To wake people up, to make Bashar mainstream, like bring it to Germany, And I still have this Bashar boy inside of me that every state I am in, everywhere my humanness that I now really unlocked is struggling, I have the answer. It's like, it's always like, what would Bashar say? And I know it. But it's not helping if you... Like, it's one thing to know it intellectually and another thing to embody it. And this is where I'm often like, fuck you, Bashar, like jokingly. I love him so much. And also, he's not a human. We're humans. And I really embrace now my human side, being a human. And then I do sometimes feel really unhappy, really depressed, get suicidal, really don't see any point. And then it's not going away if I give myself a Bashar talk. Not really. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And what helps me the most is just actually sharing how I feel, Like, can you actually access your feelings without already invalidating your own feelings? Like, can you validate your own feelings and be okay with that? Like, be okay to not be okay. And this was hard for me. Because I can always be okay. But then I'm invalidating my own feelings, and then it's the most empty place ever, where I don't really feel anything. It's just a void. It's just emptiness. Because, sure, I'm alright. Because, yeah, I'm always alright. I'm always good. But then if I allow myself to not be good, then I reach these deeper levels of depth where I find myself now. And it's so nice. Out of these deeper levels, everything feels more meaningful. Everything feels, feeling. Like, how are you feeling? Like, without, like, the feelings, that's where it's at. The rest is, like, why do you think we came here? Why do you think we love the humanness so much? Because it's about our feelings. Is the stance of how am I feeling, how are you feeling, and how does this make me feel what you just said, and how does this land in my body, and then how am I gonna respond, and then it's not landed so well, and then I share vulnerably why, and then it turns out I misunderstood you, and then we really understand each other and we feel more connected than ever, and we're making love, and it's like, wow, the emotions is where it's at, For me, it's like creating movies. And yes, it's watch movies, it's always full of emotions. So I love feeling, I love not having the answer, even though I have the answer, and then creating art out of it. Like my last podcast, because I felt this way, I created art by sharing this feeling, and it can only be shared like this if I feel like that. So now this ceremony, I find myself with Faye. It's like this morning, I was sharing things, and I'm in a mood right now of, and I loved it because then I stay in this mood, in a sense of, this is so precious. Okay, what songs can I listen to? And this is a really beautiful spot I am in. And then I can connect to certain songs that I can only connect in this mood because I'm feeling this way right now. So before, I just found myself so shallow. I was always like so alien, I always resonated to the highest vibe stuff, and the songs I were listening to, like from whatever artist, like Crow or M83, I think they're called. I was always listening to the highest vibe songs where it really opened spirit. Like from M83, I was listening to Wait, Outro, Intro. These are like my 3 favorite songs because spirit is really opened. And now I just open spirit in so many different ways. Because lower vibe is great. The Matrix is great. I love the Matrix. It gives us purpose. And everything is a matrix. Like, you just wake up to a higher matrix. And without the matrix, there would nothing to transform, to worry about, to overcome fear-based beliefs. So yeah, I love lower vibes. I love every day I eat Snickers because it lowers my vibration. Because currently in the ceremony I find myself with Faye. It's my big challenge again to stay grounded. The last days I was pretty ungrounded. And then I don't like being that ungrounded. I really got to this point again the last week, multiple times, where it was exactly how it was after I drank ayahuasca. I was that ungrounded. I was like, holy shit, I'm losing my shit. So I eat a Snickers because what does it do? It lowers my vibration, which is a great tool. Like everything is a upper, a lower. And I wanted to feel good in my body. So there's no point in growing your consciousness if it doesn't feel good. And I've many alien friends, like my friend Eugene or Simon, who channels the Yael. They really went far, and they're so often retreating because they're like, oh shit, I'm too far, because this really multidimensional nature feels so shitty sometimes if we cannot hold it as humans, because we're in this limited suit. It feels like so dying, and then we want to retreat. We want to come back to the ground and do something together on this vibration we find us. Let me blow my nose. So yeah, like this frustration I have this morning is because Faye is so far, I found another girlfriend that is further than me in many ways, and I find myself as the student. Like, I'm learning so much. And I know who I am pretty much. Like, I know why I'm here in this timeline, and for that I really gotta grow. I gotta step into the man I'm becoming. And for that I need the greatest teachers. So I'm so blessed for Faye, for Brittany, for Vicky, and so on. Like, I really have the creme de la creme. And also my inner child is like, I'm already so far. I see other powerful men, they mostly have quote unquote less powerful women, so they can teach them something and feel like powerful, like, let me teach you something. And I don't want that. I want to equal. That's what I want. I want us all to be met. And I find myself these years constantly learning so much. And I kind of miss chilling more. And you're like, oh, Ferdi, your entire life is chill. Like, yeah, on the outside, I have the most chill life ever. But it's the inside, you know, the inside is the outside. And on the inside, I'm not feeling so grounded because I'm constantly growing hardcore. And I guess I'm craving more, creating more. I want to create more. These vibrations, I find myself, they're beautiful. Like right now, that's why I brought the podcast back for my own mental health, to create this vibration. I find myself, because if I stay silent for another month, there would be so many podcasts like the one yesterday, I'm depressed, that would never be created because I outgrew it. I'm not in this vibration anymore. I stayed silent. And that's why I encourage everyone to get creative on whatever vibration you're at. You're feeling the way you're feeling because it's your blessing. The universe wants you to feel that for a reason. And often is to share it with others who feel the same, so we can sing each other home. And that's why I know I need to share. Like, doing this podcast right now feels so good. And I have my Wiki session in already half an hour. Oh shit. And then I'm like growing again, so I'm like, no, let's put a podcast in. And probably after the session, I might even continue this one because I really wanna share more. So yeah, what I'm saying is, I miss sharing more, like creating, like also like social things. I wanna gather more. Like this high season, I'm really excited to create. It's always, you know, this balance of being a student and a teacher. Okay, I really need to poop, so I'm gonna do a cut here. And I'm back, and I sneaked in an outfit change if you're watching visually. Yesterday in this bar at Xantiva, the one German guy in the ice bath was asking what I'm doing, and I was telling him that like I'm an influencer and I do a podcast. And he was like, what is your podcast about? I was like, no, I just share how I'm feeling. And he was like, you just share how you're feeling? I was like, yeah, I just share how I'm feeling. And I love that. And I was telling him I'm living here, and he was like, do you miss Germany sometimes? I was like, sometimes. And then he was like, yeah, because the structure is missing here. And then first I wanted to, you know, dismiss him, that like, yeah, the structure is a prison. But then I totally get what he's saying. And the thing is, once you raise your vibration, you get what everyone is saying. And once you have seen more than others, you kind of have to agree with someone who hasn't seen what you have seen, because they don't know, but you know what they know. So they cannot know, but you know. Okay, let's break that down. It was way too cryptic. I read this meme the other day that I'm like saying, hey, the sky is blue, and this person that only lived in a polluted city only knows a gray sky. And he's like, no, the sky is gray. And I know that the sky can be gray, but it can also be blue. But this person has never seen a blue sky. So I agree with this person, because I'm like, yeah, you're right. In your reality, what you have experienced. So this is where this loneliness also comes in, that I've experienced many states of being others haven't experienced, especially not soberly. And so he's like, yeah, you're missing Germany because here the structure is missing. And he's 100% right. Like, the system isn't in place here. Here it's the Wild West. In Germany, for example, you live in, however you want to call it. I love how Julian Zietlow has this analogy of captivity. It's like the zoo. You're a zoo animal. And here Kopangan is freedom. And of course the prison, the zoo, it's inside your head. And also the inside is a reflection of the outside. So how the system is in place in Germany, you can just feel it everywhere because everyone is in it. So sure, I can live outside the system, inside the system, but often it's just, at a certain level, it feels uncomfortable for too long. And sure, there are like great places like Berlin that has like a really freedom vibe, because many people are breaking out or broken out. But you know, when I go to Munich, where I grew up, it's like I'm in the zoo 100%. It all feels so weird. It feels so fake. And then I'm freaking out because yeah. It's just really hard once you've experienced what I've experienced, like the level of freedom and how it can feel with other people being mad. But then this entire freedom of like awakening too much. I love how Jonathan said it in his latest podcast. He builds himself right now a golden cage of, I love the masculine in us that creates structure. I love structure. I love it. It's a great framework. It's where like my current structure I have for a while. It's my basics are every day a podcast, going to the gym, or just moving my body. Like these are my non-negotiables. This is my golden cage. Doing my WhatsApp every day, my Instagram every day, like uploading stories and like communicating, like checking my DMs, and then doing my inner walk or meditating, same, and spending time in deep nature every day. These are my basics right now that it's like, these are really good for my mental health. And one thing that I would add, but right now I do anyways, is being social. Like this is so good for our mental health. We're social creatures. So that's why seeing Faye almost every day, and I go back to Xantiva now, where just these small interactions in the spa or in the gym, it's really nourishing. Because you also just only know what you actually embody in reflection to someone else. Like I was so often in Austria or somewhere listening to Ashar, and I'm like, I get it all. And sure, I get it in my own energy, but do I get it in the reflection of someone else? Because then someone else, they're just triggering me. And if they trigger me, then there's something inside of me that doesn't get it in this way that I thought I would get it. Because with outer reflection, you get everything. Of course, you're in your own energy, you're your own boss. You're like, but if there are other people around you, things that you quote unquote cannot control, like how are you reacting to that? Can you still stay in your center, stay calm, stay loving, stay peaceful? And if not, what is it, you know? So that's why I need reflections every day. For my sanity, for just also just like, you know, sharing love, like social. And this is what I'm missing. I'm missing having more friends. Yeah. I'm missing more bros. Because we're all going through so much. It's like, you know, I met Julian yesterday in the spa. And it's great, but also it's like not bro time, you know? And this is what my inner child is missing, because I feel like he's so awake right now. He's really in this ayahuasca state, and he stays in it, but staying in it is boring if you don't make it cool. And I want to make it cool. I want to have fun and laugh and crack jokes, and not just like be in this like serious state about it. I really miss hanging out with bros. But yeah, the bros that I know I have, like my spiritual bros, I already found a lot, you know, but we're all going through our stuff. Like I love Brittany. I love her so much. And also, she's just going whatever she's going through right now. And I would love that we all come together harmoniously and hang out like kids, because all the programming is gone and we're free and we're in tribe. And I already found so many people in my family, but it's not harmonious. We're on different journeys right now. And we have to respect the timeline. Respect it, Ferdi. Don't disrespect it. Okay. I guess I watch another TV show. If you have a good one, let me know. Right now I started Prison Break, and it's actually pretty good. You know, I just want to try and close this window in the background, because it feels like it's overexposed. Yeah, I like that. And I did another outfit change, because why not? So I actually have something really amazing I want to talk about on my list, but it's a long one. Faye reflected it to me yesterday about the mother wound. So I'm not going to talk about it now, but I'm going to talk about it either later, after the session. Maybe I make a cut, or tomorrow. I want to keep going, and I want to keep going in English right now. This feels just really wholesome, because all my German vegan savages, alien savages, same. You understand English, and right now I'm in this phase of sharing next level raw. You know, there are levels to everything, even how raw how much to the essence you can share. And my podcast, it's way less about what I say, because at the end, basically all words are blah blah. Whatever I say, you know, the words. Like, look at my dog Afro. She never used a word in her life. She just gets it, you know. I said that to Sissy yesterday, and she was like, yeah, you know, I traveled so much recently, and when I travel, I don't need any words. It's just like all words are blah blah. It sounds funny because I use a lot of words, but it's really not about the words I use. It's about the underlying frequency I carry. And I wish I could play Faye's voice message to her feedback to my episode yesterday. Like, she actually watches all my podcast recently, and she gives me feedback. And this is like a superpower charm, because by her blessing of my podcast, I feel like God has blessed my podcast, because she, like, just wait until you actually see her frequency, herself, once she comes to my podcast or something. I mean, already check her out on Instagram. I always link her down below. Check out her art. Her art speaks for herself. And she really sees me. And it's how she gave me feedback to my last episode was so wow. She was like, yeah, it doesn't matter that you're cryptic and everything, or it's also great, because she was at a cafe yesterday listening to my podcast, and she was drawing, and she wasn't even, and she said she didn't need to pay so much attention to me. Like, you know, when other people are so in their head, so intellectual, you need to like pay attention. It's heavy, you know. I watched this show Prison Break, and all these detectives, they're so in their head, and I don't even listen anymore, because I can already intuit what it's about, because I can already like predict where it's going, and then all these unnecessary details, and I skip that all in my podcast, so you can really relax in these episodes, and you can really go in spirit with me. And I just open the door of spirit, and many things in you get triggered, that by this raw essence I'm sharing, it's a reminder of home. It's a reminder of your essence. And by witnessing me sharing like this, it makes you be more raw, because you see what level I have opened to rawness, because how I share is not so much out there. Like, I don't see many people share like actually like I share. Like, please, like I'm always saying that, show me someone who shares like me. Because, like, yeah, many share how they're feeling, but they're having so many masks on still. There's still so many persona, or they don't even, like, know so much who they are. And I really allow you inside my head and my heart as I speak. I don't know what I'm gonna say next, and whatever comes, I'm gonna investigate in the moment, without already having the answer or needing even an answer. Just allowing my train of thoughts. And this feels so connective to many, because we all actually think and feel the same. And finally someone is saying it out loud. And it's like, if he can do it, I can do it. So this was at least the feedback from Faye in a nutshell, that she is more excited to share more raw and just to share more, you know. It's like the Ferdi effect. People around me, they just share more because I share. And yeah. Yeah. I'm excited to show you her. Like, she's so wow. Also to like flex a little, like, look what a woman I found and is into me. This must mean I'm cool. Kidding. Okay, it's 10%. It's 10%. It's 10% true. Like, yeah, of course. I still have a ego inside of me that wants to be like, yeah, wow, Ferdi. Did I just objectify her? Yeah, I did. We're all objectifying. It's like, but it's like, in what vibration are you doing it, you know? And I want to show you, Faye, because she's such a light that I want the world to be seen. I want that she shares her gifts more. Because these voice messages I receive from her, I feel so blessed. And then I want the whole world to receive that, you know? Same with Brittany. I'm so proud of her that she keeps uploading her podcast without me setting it up, without me editing it. And I'm sure she loves it, and it gives her even more purpose because editing it is actually so fun. And her podcasts are so wow. You know, they're so needed in the world. Like, imagine her podcast wouldn't exist. What a loss in the world. And I really see people and I want to share them. And of course, I want, like, hey, like Dr. Dre, you know, he found Eminem, you know, and it's not like Eminem is so cool, period. And also, yeah, Dr. Dre helped him to, like, of course, he didn't need Dr. Dre. Eminem would, like, this is his destiny. But also, like, giving credit where it's due, you know. I always give credit to everyone, and so I also like to receive credit, you know. It's like it's like not for a flex, just for the recognition, just to be seen, you know. Isn't that a line from Eminem? I'm just here for the fucking recognition. Let's take a deep sip. Yeah, I'm gonna end the podcast here. I have to go now. I have to go. I have to go home. I have to go to the wall. I'm Jon Snow. You say I know nothing, but I do know some things. I know that I love you. I know that you love me. But I have to go home. I have to go now. Yeah, I'm excited for this wiki session. I'm going to tell you all about it. Maybe later or tomorrow, but I have a feeling I'm going to do a cut here. And this is it for today. And this mother wound thing, I want to dive in probably tomorrow. But I do leave you with some feedback from my last episode, because I really, like, also a bunch of my friends reached out and they were like, wow, we see you. And Lisa from Tirol, she sent me a voice message. And I'm going to play it now. I ask her. I have her permission. It's just 2 minutes. And it's in German, so if you're not mighty of the German language, you can turn off now. But if you are, yeah, I really feel seen by her. And I think you also feel seen by her. Is that not what I just said? But what she says, here we go. Because we all want the same, you know? And once we get rid of this wanting, like, we all need the same. Here we go. We all need the same, our basic human needs. You know, I talked about it in the last podcast. Bashar talks about it. And once, like, you know, a creative expression, following our excitement, doing what we love, like our purpose, sharing that, creating that, and connection, being met, it's like you're full. And like the other 5 basics, like water, air, sleep, food, and shelter. And then all this wanting, which is so programmed, you know. And I see it how still, like, I listen to so much German rap and it's so full of wanting. And I then like, oh, I want all the money and all the cars and all the bling bling. But this doesn't make me happy, you know. I know it's so basic what I'm just saying. But also, just to emphasize, we all actually need the same. And when our needs are met, we're happy. So it's so nice to acknowledge that and create spaces for our needs to be met. Like, connection and creative expression. That's why my podcast, it's a daily reminder for you to follow your highest excitement. This is the way. Share your gifts, whatever they are. Okay, excited to read your YouTube comments. Please stay polite. We're all in this together. Why don't we just all loving, you know? Let's all be loving. We never know when our last moment is to, like, say something to someone in the flesh. Like, someone died yesterday on the island in a scooter accident, like someone of the conscious community, and like, you never know when it's your last time to. That's why right now, you know, you saw how I spoke about Britney in this podcast. It's at this point, it's only love. Like, I don't care if it's less cool or whatever. but I like I so love her, you know, and I don't know when it's the last time I see her or whatever, and I want to like put out that vibration because this is how I actually feel. Because if whatever would happen, and then I'm like, oh my god, but I love her so much. I don't want to live with that. So I just like to say it or stay in this vibration of love, you know. And then like we can make love so cool. Trust me. Like this podcast was still so cool. We had 3 outfit changes. I pooped. I just talked like so vulnerably, and this is like such an art form here. Like this is cool as fuck. My podcasts are the coolest shit ever. In my opinion, of course. What else, you know? Who's speaking? And yeah, this is also like showing you maybe love can be just, everything can be cool. And then like what's cool? For me, cool is really rocking your essence, rocking your realness. Like, and what do I mean with rocking it? That really owning who you are to the fullest. And you hear the confidence I have in my voice when I share about whatever, like the most vulnerable things. I'm still confident because I believe in myself. And this confidence, this is so sexy. This is so cool that I can go in the most vulnerable places where I don't have answers or whatever. And I have such a backbone that I sit here and I release that. And I don't like doubt myself and delete it the next day. Or sure, I doubt myself sometimes. Sure. But then I stay, like I have my own back, you know, and this is so cool, so cool. So yeah, this is my definition. Thanks for listening. Until next time. Peace out.
Hallo, lang nichts mehr von mir gehört. Komm wieder mal um die Ecke. Also, ich habe mir jetzt den Podcast angehört, noch nicht ganz, aber genug, um zu hören, wie ähnlich es mir gerade geht. Und es hilft mir jetzt gerade so viel, weil ich bin auch so in einem Modus, ich bin am Sterben. Ich weiß genau, wenn ich zur Psychologin gehe, dann sagt sie mir, ich habe eine Depression, weil nichts mehr einen Sinn ergibt, weil ich so aus allem rauswachse. Und ich habe ja so Reiki-Dings gegeben, bin mir eigentlich gerade eine Website bei mir stellen, und währenddem ich das tue, denke ich mir so, oh, I don't know. Ich komme so an einen Punkt, wo ich weiß einfach nicht, ich wünsche mir, dass wieder was kommt, das mir excited. Weißt, und aber paradoxically ist es so, dass mein highest excitement einfach wäre, so Family zu kreieren und mich um die Family kümmern und einfach ja, Liebe wachsen zu lassen in Form von Kindern oder Tieren oder weißt, und dann einfach, wo ich Sachen mache, wie dass ich was koche für die Familie und dann die Wäsche wasche und im Garten was mache. Das ist das, was mich gerade so exciten würde. Aber es ist halt gerade im Außen ein bisschen anders. Whatsoever. Okay. So, ja. Auf jeden Fall, ich habe mir gestern einen Flug gebucht für Bangan. Dezember schaue ich mal wieder woanders hin. Und dann, ja, auf jeden Fall danke, dass du das so teilst. Du hilfst auf jeden Fall ganz, ganz vielen. Und ja, Love.